well, welcome to the writing curriculum. This is my favorite. Mostly because that's where I spent a lot of my time.
Right.
You know, I was in the studio system, and it was all about development. And I think...
I remember going to your office at DreamWorks, and it was like, there was this cabinet behind you that had hundreds of screenplays and written on the spine, all the names of it, and they were everywhere. And you had like 6 assistants that were coming and going and copying and reading and readers, and man, it was just crazy. And as simple as or as boring as it may seem, it's exciting. This is where the story starts. Yeah.
This is where the depth of your story, it's not going to get any better than what you create right here in this curriculum. And it gets worse from here. And because everything has to compromise from this point forward.
I don't know if it's, true. I don't know if it's me but I always liked the idea that this is the only time, if you're the writer, this is the only time that it will just be yours.
Right.
Right? Never again. After you're done with this screenplay, it's taken out of your hands. It will not be just yours anymore. And now you add a director and they bring their vision. And you add a cinematographer and they bring their vision. And producers come on and actors, and boy, do they bring their vision and their talent. So after, and it just gets, at that point, if you're doing your job right, not as a writer, but if the crew and the producer are doing their jobs right, it just starts getting better.
It does get better.
And better and better. Yes, it does. Yes. And then you start shooting.
But you do, as a writer, you want to spend the time in this portion to make it the best it possibly can.
Do not proceed until it is absolutely the best you can make it.
Yeah. And this part of the process of filmmaking, it doesn't cost you anything but your time. And sure, your time's valuable, but you're not sitting on set and it's costing you $100,000 a day. Well, I don't know if we'll be doing any of that.
They probably won't be.
$100 a day, right? There you go.
Right, there you go.
That's on the scale. But it's spend the time here. It doesn't cost you anything. It just is your time and your effort. And I guarantee you, if you follow each one of the principles that we're talking about, don't skip any. I mean, if we ask you to do a log line, you write a log line for your story. If we ask you to write,
spend some time
on the log
Don't
line.
just go blah, 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 done, turn in the assignment. Because as you write that log line, or as you create your beat sheets, as you do the assignments in this course,
your extended synopsis,
your story is going to profoundly improve. It's going to find more depth. You're going to find more story, more character, more things to bring out through production.
Well, and it's also going to focus you, right?
Absolutely.
If you have to boil your story down to a log line that's really one sentence, it's going to focus you.
It's hard. It's not easy.
Yeah.
And if you think it's hard, or if you think it's easy, you're not doing it wrong. Wait, you're not doing it right. You're doing it wrong.
You're doing it wrong.
Yes, you're doing it wrong if you think this is easy. That is one of the hardest things to do as a writer. So,
and don't think, if you're writing a 30-second screenplay, all these principles that we're going to be talking about in this curriculum apply. Because you will have a beginning, middle, and an end. You'll have an Act 1, Act 2, and an Act 3. You're going to have all of the
even
elements.
if it's a 60-second commercial.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
30 seconds or 60-second commercial. You're going to have the same
Or a
things
2-hour
in there.
feature film.
It is the same. So all of these principles, don't write them off and say, oh, well, I'm doing
a music video. Well, still works. The principles still apply. This exercise is going to focus your concept of what your story is all about. So just trust us, do it.
Spend time. It will pay off. The time you spend in this portion of filmmaking pays off in spades later.
Big time.
I promise you.
And
we promise you.
Well, let's be honest. Some of us are writers. That's not me. And some of us aren't. That's me, right? And you will find as you go through your career, we've been doing this for a long time, that writers are extremely rare. Really good writers are really rare. I mean, they are one in 100,000.
Well, and you might even find out that you might be great at structure, but someone else in your class is great at dialogue. And so you might write your screenplay and then have him or her come in and do a dialogue polish.
That's right.
Or a comedy pass.
That's right.
You know, it's the talent. I mean, it takes, to be a really good writer, it takes talent.
It is not uncommon for a property to sit and languish in development for years and years and be rewritten by different writers.
Yeah.
Trying to get to that place where the studio feels like, okay, this is a green light picture. This is ready to go. It takes a long time. So take the time. I'm not telling you to spend years, by the way. You have to finish this course
You
in
gotta
order
get
to
through
complete
the
the
course in
class.
the semester, or the quarter, or the year. It doesn't matter, but you do have to finish it. You got to write something.
You got to write something. And trust me when I tell you, the finished product is based on how well you do your job right now.
Yeah.
Because I don't care who it is. Steven Spielberg could be producing, or Alfred Hitchcock could be directing your story right here, and it's not going to be better than what you have on the page right now. It doesn't get better than what's on the page.
And
So
the
do
last
it.
little piece of advice that I'm just going to hand to him.
All
I
right.
mean, I'm just going to give this.
Wow. You just,
It's
our
just-
secrets.
It's not going to cost you anything extra. Is read screenplays. Okay?
yeah.
If you want to be a great writer, read screenplays and write screenplays.
And write, but read 'em.
Right? But take the time to read some screenplays.
Really good ones. Because when you read a really good one, that's when you realize whether you're a writer or not.
Yeah. Well, and if you read a bad one, you realize,
Wow, I'm not so bad.
that was pretty bad. I can do better than that. Okay, good luck. Spend your time here. It will be time well spent.